In the 1980s, Sega had limited success with Genesis ports of its arcade games. The company needed more competitive titles to be able to compete with the market leader, Nintendo. In 1988, Sega of Japan began an in-house competition to create a rival to Nintendo's mascot Mario. For the next 3 years, programmers and designers at Sega worked on a brand character to rival Mario. In 1990, Sega ordered its in-house team to develop a game featuring a mascot for the company. Sega's president Hayao Nakayama wanted a character as iconic as Mickey Mouse. The team developed ideas for characters, an engine, and gameplay mechanics. Development emphasized speed, so Sega considered fast creatures such as kangaroos and squirrels and eliminated designs not associated with fast animals. One idea, a rabbit able to grasp objects with his ears, showed promise, but was too complex for the Genesis hardware. The team narrowed its search to animals that could roll into a ball, their idea for an attacking move, and considered armadillos and hedgehogs. The hedgehog character, proposed by Naoto Oshima, eventually prevailed. Oshima went on vacation to New York, taking sketches with him. He went to Central Park and asked locals for their opinions on them, and Sonic was the favorite. A man with a mustache, who eventually became Dr. Robotnik, came in second. Sonic was originally teal-colored, then a light shade of blue, but he was changed to dark blue so he would stand out against certain backgrounds and to match the Sega logo. According to Oshima, Sonic's basic design was created by combining Felix, the cat's head, with Mickey Mouse's body. The character's shoes were made red and white like Santa Claus. Oshima considered Santa to be the most famous character in the world. Sonic's spikes were emphasized to make him sleeker, and he was given the ability to spin while jumping. The new character was originally named Mr. Hedgehog, but they eventually decided to change his name to Sonic. Ideas proposed to flesh out the character included placing him in a rock band, giving him vampire fangs, and giving him a human girlfriend named Madonna. Sega of America scrapped these ideas to keep his identity simple.
Danita Stokes, president of HAG.
It's bad enough that Sega Genesis has the most 16-bit games, but this new Sonic the Hedgehog, oh, he really doth my doilies. They say he's incredibly fast. Well, what's the hurry, mister? And about his attitude. Smarty pants. Why can't it be more like that nice boy Mario? Oh! Little brat!
Now, get Sonic free when you buy a Sega Genesis system at its new price of $149.99.
Hey, guy, you're the first serious gamer I've seen all morning. Check this out. Brand new 16-bit Super Nintendo with Super Mario World. Wow!
What's this one?
Oh, this is a Sonic the Hedgehog from Sega Genesis. Hey, look at these radical colors, huh?
Wow, Sonic's fast, too.
No, over here.
I like Genesis, and it costs a lot less.
Wait, kid, that game
I'll
there.
take Sonic and Genesis.
I knew that.
Sonic the Hedgehog. More action, more speed. Sega Genesis. It's a whole lot more for less.
Sean! Sean! Lunch!
Food.
Sonic the Hedgehog pasta, new from Franco-American. What are you playing for lunch?
Sega of America also expressed concerns that most Americans would not know what a hedgehog is. According to Mark Cerny, who worked in Tokyo as an intermediary between the Japanese and American Sega offices, the American staff felt the character was unsalvageable. They made plans to educate Sonic Team on character design with the work of Will Vinton, the creator of the California Raisins. They proposed a full-scale recreation of the character, but compromised with Sonic Team to simply make design changes for Western audiences. The antagonist was named Dr. Eggman in Japan and Dr. Robotnik in other regions as a result of a dispute between Sega's American and Japanese divisions. Development testing using the Genesis tool library revealed problems such as flickering, slow frame rates, and shaky animation. Increasing Sonic's speed caused the game to become unplayable. After getting feedback from gamers and team members, it was decided that the best solution was to slow Sonic down, as this would make the game more playable and also reduce the problems that the Genesis was having running the game. Oshima, Naka and Yasuhara worked 19 hours a day on the project for several months. Due to the need to demonstrate the Genesis' technological prowess, the game underwent extensive testing and redesign, which took over 6 months. According to Naka, the game had the fastest ever character speed in a video game and a rotation effect in the special stages that had been considered impossible on the console. The team intended to add a 2-player mode displayed via split screen, but Naka's programming knowledge was insufficient to implement it. Naka's relationship with Sega was tenuous during this time, and he received little credit for his work. He left the company shortly after the game's release, although Sega of America hired him later. Before leaving, however, he defied Sega's prohibition of developer credits by displaying a few names in black text on a black background, identifiable only by looking at the code. Naka also stated that the team was trying to create smooth maps, and that implementing looping structures was a challenge because Sonic would break through them instead of running around them. The backgrounds were also a challenge, as the game's speed created the impression of going backwards. Robotnik's character design is thought to have been inspired by Humpty Dumpty. The team turned to Masato Nakamura, bassist and songwriter of the J-pop band Dreams Come True, to create the music for the game. Nakamura said he was surprised, but accepted the job as he was inspired by the team's desire to outperform Nintendo. Nakamura said the hardest part was working with a limited number of sounds that could play concurrently. He was limited to 4, and said that his lack of knowledge of music on computers made it impossible. After he finished the compositions, the music was digitized using an Atari ST. Sonic the Hedgehog was a commercial success. It became America's best-selling video game for several months in 1991, outselling Super Mario. By Christmas, Sonic the Hedgehog had sold nearly 1 million game cartridges in the United States. It was also Blockbuster Video's most rented game of the year. Primarily because of its Genesis bundling, Sonic the Hedgehog was a factor in popularizing the console in North America, thus solidifying it as a competitor to Nintendo. By the end of 1991, the game's success led to the Genesis outselling the Super Nintendo 2-1. Sega would peak in 1992 as it gained a major foothold in the industry, having secured 65% of the 16-bit market. Although Nintendo eventually overtook Sega, it was the first time since 1985 that Nintendo did not lead the console market. Sonic the Hedgehog was very well received by critics, who praised its visuals, audio, and gameplay. It is widely considered one of the greatest games of all time, and has sold approximately 24 million copies worldwide. If you enjoyed the video, please consider liking and subscribing. Also check out our Patreon for more content.